Hello friends, it's Alexis, and welcome to week 1 of the Readathon Rebellion. If you don't know what the Readathon Rebellion is, I will have Mel's video linked below, but this is a new game board based readathon that Melanie Reads has created, and your goal is to work your way through the game board, completing reading prompts until you reach Grimhold Prison, where you must break out the Silent Spectre to aid in the rebellion efforts. As you make your way through the board completing prompts, you're also going to unlock stories about this world and the rebellion, and I'm super excited to learn more about it throughout the month. Now, I don't have a set TBR for this week. I'm going to roll as I go throughout the month with this game. So, of course, I'm going to be prioritizing the books that I put on my TBR for this month and books on my physical TBR, but otherwise, I think I'm going to try to do a lot of mood reading this month. So, to figure out what book we're starting with this week, I'm going to send you back in time to last week when I did my first 2 rolls for this because I was impatient. I had to know what I was starting with. I couldn't wait. Guys, I am so excited. It is finally time to roll for our first prompt of the Readathon Rebellion. Can we first take a moment for this gorgeous map though? Like, oh my god, the detail, the time that went into this. I love it so much. The way this works is I have some dice that I'm going to roll. I'm choosing to roll 2 dice at a time because I have not been reading as much as I once did. So I want this to be manageable for me on top of my TBR I already have. Hopefully I'll be able to double up on most books, but just in case. And then as my game piece, I have this little crystal cat. I'm going to be moving around the board. So we're gonna start at the start, as you do. And then, of course, we need the cards. So Mel does have printable versions of these, but I didn't want to print out like 40-something cards. So what I opted to do is on the back of these cards, there's 10 of them. There's a number because there are 10 prompts that go along with each kind of category of space you can pick. So either info gathering, roadblock, training, or side quest. So I'll flip one of these over. Number 3, I land on side quest. I'll go to the 3rd card of the side quest in the document. It'll make sense when we roll, but that's what I decided to do rather than printing out all the cards. So we have our cards, we have our game piece, we have our dice. Let's figure out what our first prompt is going to be. All right, we got a 3 and a 1, so we'll move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is so anticlimactic. We got objective 1, which we do have to complete anyways, but I was also hoping for a prompt. So I'll let you know what we're reading for that, but then I am gonna roll again because I wanna know what book I have next. And we're back. It's both lucky and unlucky that I landed on objective 1 because, like, yay, I get it out of the way right away, but I kind of wanted to get another prompt. That way I could have 2 books going at once. So I already talked about this in my TBR, but if you missed it, for objective 1, I'm going to be reading Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. I am so happy to be holding this in my hands. This is probably my most anticipated book of the year. This is about 2 graduate students at Cambridge who have to travel to the underworld to rescue their professor from hell. It is truly just everything I've ever wanted in a book, and it's written by one of my favorite authors. I am so excited to finally be starting this today. In about an hour, I'm actually going to be jumping on live reading sprints on Mel's channel for kicking off the readathon. Really excited to get the chance to talk to everybody, but most importantly, I'm excited to get into this one. All right, so back at it, starting from objective 1, we're gonna roll the dice. And we got 2 2s, which means we are moving 4 spaces. We got a training space. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle my cards. And our training prompt is going to be number 5. This mission requires more than just brawn. You also need brains. Read up on your history so that you are fresh for anything that comes your way. Read a book that was published prior to your last read. Other than that, for prompt 2, I'm not exactly sure what I want to read yet. I definitely want to have an audiobook going because this is going to be my physical read right now. So I'll have to take a look at what's available from the library and I'll let you know once I decide. But as for right now, I've got to go get dinner started. That way I'm ready to sprint. Hello, I'm back. We're done with sprints. I am so tired, but I had a really fun time talking to everybody. It's already almost 11. Oh my gosh. We made good progress today. I got 82 pages into this. I'm looking as if I'm going to know. I didn't bring a bookmark back here, so I've just been like leaving my book open. I remember I made it to page 82 and I'm really loving it, as I knew I would. I'm very excited now to get into bed and to keep reading it. Lately I've been going to sleep between like 12:30, so like, you know, depending on how fast I can let the dogs out and do everything, I could maybe read for another hour if I don't fall asleep, because I am very tired. I just want to scream about how good this book is. I want to tell you guys everything, but also I don't want to spoil anything. So we'll keep this spoiler free. Getting right into it, I'm very happy that we almost get right into the action. Like literally within the first chapter, they are in hell. A lot of times with books like these, they tell us in the synopsis that it's going to be about this journey to hell, but then like the whole story is the build-up, and then like if they even go to hell, it's in the end of the book, which just feels like a lot of build-up and not payoff. This, we get right into it, and I really like that. All of the preparations to go to hell were done off page. Literally opening scene, she is drawing the pentagram to enter hell, and in walks her academic rival Peter, and he interrupts her and he joins the pentagram. He draws one next to her and he's like, okay, we're going together, right? I know they're rivals and that we're in Alice's head, and she doesn't really like Peter, so we're probably not supposed to like Peter. I like Peter. He's really fun. They're both really fun. I like them a lot. I'm also thinking, do you guys think R.F. Kuang did this on purpose, that Alice, like in Wonderland, and Peter, like from the Chronicles of Narnia, like both literary characters that have traveled to other worlds? Just a thought. So they enter hell, and I'm really loving the descriptions. I feel like I can really see and like visualize everything that's happening. They're in hell and they're tracking down their professor, and they're not having as much luck as they would have hoped. They sort of hoped that he was still going to be in like the first layer of hell. Here's the other thing. They don't actually know like the structure of hell. There are some theories. There's the classic one from Dante's Inferno. There's this one that Peter draws. They're actually in the Barnes & Noble edition. So here is one theory that hell is like layers, and then here's the river, and then here's Satan's throne. In this, they call him King Yama. And then there's the classic, like, Dante's Inferno structure where it's the rings. And then this is one that Peter proposes, that they're around each other and the center is Satan's throne. So I like that there's a lot of things they know for sure, but also uncertainties. Like, I really love the way they're bringing in classic literature or other examples of characters that have journeyed to hell, like Dante's Inferno or Orpheus traveling to rescue Eurydice. I am a big nerd like that, so I'm really loving the call out. There's a really, really funny reference to Socrates where he talked about the unexamined life is not worth living. That was my favorite scene so far in this, which I haven't even talked about how funny this book is. I did not go into it thinking there would be so much comedy. I've like laughed out loud multiple times. I'm having a really, really good time, and like I knew I would, but I was expecting this to be a more serious, like a dark academia, almost like The Secret History, but I'm not getting that. I feel like the way she's writing it is very familiar. She's almost explaining everything without over explaining it. At this point, Alice and Peter have spent their first night in hell. We're getting more of their backstory. We're getting more of Professor Grimes's backstory, and we're just following them on their journey to try and track him down. I can't even tell you the last time I was excited to like get into bed and read, and I'm gonna go do that now. So I'll talk to you in the morning. Are you guys miserable? Yeah. It looks like she's melting, but I promise there's enough space in this thing. Kitten. I finally found them. I also got him because anything with a frog on it, I have to have. He's so cute. Good morning. It is finally time to talk to you more about Catabasis because I have made it to almost the 50% mark. I'm just shy. I'm at 276. My goal this morning, I woke up early to read, was to get to 280. But then I had to get ready because I have exciting plans. I'm going to get coffee and then go for a walk in the park with the boys and some friends from work. I'm so excited. But I'm also very, very excited to get home later and to keep reading this because I love it. You guys already know how much I'm loving it, but like, I can't believe how much I'm loving it. Okay, I need to do my makeup while I talk, so we can put the book down for now. Actually, let me put it on the bed so I don't get makeup on it. Everything I said the last time we spoke still stands. This book is so much funnier than I was ever expecting it to be. I'm definitely not understanding everything. It is a book that just feels way too smart for me, but I'm still enjoying. I'm enjoying like pretending like I fit in and know what they're talking about, but the things, the theories, the, I don't know, philosophy that they're discussing, just going straight over my head. Like I'll recognize the name, like they say Plato, but then they get into like what he taught or like his beliefs, his findings. I don't even know what I'm saying, but none of it's making sense, but that's okay. We're just like vibing with the book and pretending that we're as smart as these Cambridge students. So, since we last spoke, Alice and Peter have just been making their way through the different circles of hell. They keep meeting up with people that they knew of that are like somehow connected to Professor Grimes. They're finding that maybe they're not finding. They knew he was a bad man, but the reader is finding that he is a worse man than we thought. Like, he kind of really sucks, and I still don't understand why Alice and Peter would risk their lives, exchange half of their lives to go to hell to rescue him. They say that it's like for the academic reason, that they need him to get good jobs, like recommendation letters and all that, but like, I don't know, this man does not seem worth it. So I cannot even predict where it's going to go, like at the end, what's going to end up happening, if they're going to rescue him or not, because I feel like meeting all these people and hearing all their stories of how Professor Grimes treated them wrong, I would change my mind. Other than that, we are getting a lot into the relationship of Peter and Alice. I definitely feel like Peter is in love with her, and I'm loving it. I really, really like Peter's character. Alice is definitely more unlikable than him. He is just like very easy to get along with, giving golden retriever vibes, and she is very cutthroat. All she cares about is herself and getting ahead in the academic world, and she doesn't care who she hurts to do it. So it's a very interesting dynamic to have them. Everything else I want to gush about is spoilers, so I'll leave it at that. It's definitely a slower book. I think I've seen a lot of people not really enjoying it. They think it's boring and that nothing happens. And well, it's not heavy on the plot. It's heavy on the character development. Like, it's a lot of being inside of Alice's head and her recounting memories of her at Cambridge and the way people have treated her in interactions with Peter. And I'm loving that because, like, I don't care if nothing happens in a book. If we're getting like insight into like the main character's mind, I'm in. So it's a good book for me, but definitely if you're looking for like an adventure plot-filled journey to hell, this isn't the book. But that being said, to me, this is still looking like a 6-star book. I obsessed with it, love it so much. I like actually wanted to wake up early to read, which can't tell you the last time that happened. I usually just scroll on my phone when I wake up early. So loving that, really, really excited to keep going with it. Right now, I'm gonna finish my makeup and listen to Sabrina Carpenter's new album because, like, that's why I haven't been listening to audiobooks, is that I just need to be listening to it any chance I get. But I do think I'm gonna start an audiobook today for Wild as the Witch because, like, it's the end of week 1 and I haven't finished a single book. So I at least want to get started on prompt 2 that I rolled. That was to read a book published earlier than my current read. So obviously Catabasis just came out August 2025, so I could really pick anything. So we're gonna go with Wild as the Witch because it's on my actual TBR. Try and get that done, and I have the audiobook for my library and it's on the shorter side, so maybe we can knock Catabasis out today, Wild as the Witch tomorrow, we'll see. But yeah, so that's my plan, and I'm gonna keep getting ready and I'll see you guys at the park, I guess.
I'm done running in slow motion under pale sun, out here in the open. When the time comes, I'll be so much better than before. I can't stay. These wounds were made to keep me in one place. I'm free, I'm finally breaking down your cage. Just like the birds when they chase the breeze, I'll fly away. I'll fly away. I'll fly away. Well, I can only take you in doses.
What was that? I'm getting sleepy, which means it is time to try our witch's brew. I'm a little nervous because Alani's are usually too sweet for me, but this is everybody's favorite flavor. It does smell like a caramel apple. It's pretty good. I don't know if I'll be able to finish this whole thing, but hopefully it wakes me up because Sundays are usually nap days, but we have too much to do. I'm determined to finish this.
Take you in doses. Baby, my heart exploded. You got me fucked up loaded all night. Lost in translation, we're waiting for things to fall back in their place. Maybe we just need our space. I can't.
An update. So a lot has happened. I got to page 323 of Catabasis. I took a 40-minute nap. I filmed my August wrap-up. I got changed into my game day shirt. I also started editing my wrap-up, and while I was doing that and working on the thumbnail, I started our next book, Wild as the Witch by Rachel Griffin, and I'm already in it. I like it a lot. I love the magic system of her books. They're witches that have nature magic. So in this one, our main character is a young witch named Iris, and she has the ability to speak to animals. So she actually works at a wildlife refuge with her mom, and this man that works there, he's going to be an ornithologist, a person who studies birds, and they are like rivals. Like, I think he likes her a lot more than she likes him. Like, I think she actually actively dislikes him, but I know from the synopsis they need to work together to end up tracking down an owl. So I'm assuming it turns into a love story. So I think it's going to be really cute. And while I continue listening to that right now, I'm going to play on my Switch. So a few nights ago, I finally caved in and I bought Tiny Bookshop, one of those two. And I, after playing it for one time, so addicted to it. I ended up staying up quite late, later than I should have, because I couldn't stop. Not only is it running your own tiny bookstore, but you also get to recommend people books, and they're like real books that exist in the real world. So I'm gonna listen to my audiobook. I'm gonna play my cozy game until it's time to order pizza and it's time to watch football.
I can't stay. These wounds were made to keep me in one place. I'm free, I'm finally breaking down your cage. Just like the birds when they chase the breeze, I'll fly away. I'll fly away. I'll fly away.
Football is so stressful. That was not fun. But we won. And now it is time for bed. I really, really hate when we play Sunday nights because it's midnight now and I do not have much time to read before I'm gonna fall asleep, but I'll do what I can. I obviously did not finish Catabasis today, so we will be taking it into next week. But I did make really good progress in Wild as the Witch. I made it to 26% of the audiobook while I got to play on my Switch for a little bit before the game. And I'm liking it a lot. It's really just what we learned from the synopsis so far. So there's a witch. Even though witches are known in this world, she is hiding the fact that she's a witch because her best friend actually committed like this magical crime when they were younger a few years ago. Friend actually went to prison for it. So like serious crime. And now the only time Iris does magic is when she's really upset. It's kind of her way of dealing with her emotions. She goes out to the woods and she like does curses, but then she like gets rid of them right away. Except this time something goes wrong. She does a curse, and in the process of doing it, an owl swoops by and like the curse hits the owl, and owls happen to be magical amplifiers. So it doesn't hurt the bird, but now it is carrying this curse. And if anything happens to the owl, like it dies, the curse will be unleashed. And the curse was meant for one single person, her rival at work, but because of the way owls amplify the magic, if this curse does get unleashed, it's going to kill like every mortal in the surrounding area. So bad stuff. So now, of course, Iris is on a quest to track down the owl. She goes to her parents. They say that they don't want her going alone on this trek through the woods, and they are unavailable to go. So they recommend that she goes with the ornithologist that I cannot remember his name right now. Is it Pike? Am I making that up? Doesn't matter, whatever. So they have just set out on their trip. They're planning on going 2 days to start. Part of her magical ability is she can track this owl, but like, you know, you still gotta catch a wild owl. So we're on the quest to find it, see if we can undo this curse. And of course, the whole time she has to hide her magical abilities from the human who like is very outspoken on his hatred of witches. So very interesting. Can't wait for them to fall in love. I'm going to get ready for bed and go read more of Catabasis and hopefully finish both of these tomorrow. I have a really busy week, so I really need to finish both of these tomorrow and close out this vlog and start another one, but we'll just do our best. But good night, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Good morning. I just got out of the shower. obviously. But I have already continued listening to Wild as the Witch. I've made it to the 42% mark. Focus. And I'm obsessed. I love it so much. It is just so nice, but also difficult when you're reading two books at the same time that you really, really like, because it's like, which one do I prioritize? Luckily, because I'm working, the audiobook is the way to go. But to keep up with the like order of the prompts, I'm using it for the game. I'm sorry, my hair is so distracting right now. It looks ridiculous. I do really need to finish this one first before I finish Wild as the Witch. So I might look up if I can get the audiobook for this one, probably on Spotify, and just try to get a little bit more of the way through it. So since our last update last night, I did read a little bit more. I feel like there was something I wanted to tell you guys about, and now I'm not remembering. Just that it's getting really, really heavy. This book is honestly R.F. Kuang's like reflection on her life in academia, like, because that girl is like perpetually in college. I don't know how she does it, and also writes books. So incredibly impressive. But this book is like really highlighting the dark side of it. So there have been just like the way Alice has been mistreated and preyed upon by bad people. So yeah, it's getting heavy. Oh, I remember what I wanted to tell you. So this whole time I was using this for objective 1, which is to read a book with 2 or more points of view. And I swear I did my research before. Somebody on Reddit said that there were 2 points of view in this, Alice and Peter's. And up until this point, it's only been Alice. So I was like, shit, am I going to have to pick another book to use for objective 1? But like, also, this is a big book, so like, it's got to count for something. We finally, last night, got Peter's perspective. So I'm using it. That's better. I know I said it last night. But today the goal is to finish this guy. And then maybe Wild as the Witch, because like this one will go fast. It's this one that we have to work on. So maybe I should put Wild as the Witch audiobook on hold, but I'm really, really, really liking it. Like, this is the perfect book for the fall transition. Like, this is September in book form. It is everything I've wanted. I'm also loving the YA-ness of it. When I'm at now, Alice and Pike, not Alice, oh my god, Iris and Pike have tracked down the owl, and they were trying to catch it. The owl flies away. The owl is definitely in on it and wants them to like get together, because the owl was like sitting in the street for like hours. They were watching it, trying to get it to go into a trap, and then the second they started fighting, the owl flew away. The owl is in on it, and it wants them together for some reason. And it's just so whimsical and wonderful. And if you are an animal lover, want to be like nature witch, this is the book for you, because I'm loving my time. But my Teams chats are going crazy, so I should probably do some work. I am determined to finish this thing tonight. I currently have 2 hours left of the audiobook, and I know when I switch to reading physically, I will read faster, but right now I'm working on updating my planner because I haven't put anything down all week. So I have an activity, I can listen to my audiobook, and then when I'm done, switch over to physical. I'm maybe enjoying it just a tiny bit less right now. I'm at the 78% mark, and something happened a few chapters ago that I didn't love. I hope it's not like permanent. I keep waiting for like it to get reversed, for them to go back on what happened, and I do still think it might happen by the end, because right now Not loving the direction the story has taken, but we'll see.
Hypnotized, yeah. You're here in the morning, but it's all in my head. I don't want this to end, to end. I won't let this be over. Want you to stay. If you let me closer, baby, give me everything. What are you thinking of?
What are you doing? You're blocking the shot. I did it. I finally did it. It took so much longer than expected, but I finished. I actually think I'm gonna go with a 4.5 star rating. I know. It's just the middle to ending kind of lost me. I was really bored. And towards the end, it was just getting way too complicated. I didn't understand what was happening. It was so strong other than that. I still loved it, even with the few problems I had. It is just so interesting, and I would love to hear R.F. Kuang talk about this book and like what inspired her to write it, because obviously it's her experience in academia, but I absolutely loved just like the idea that academia and higher education is hell. Like every area of hell that they visited, there was the campus library or the student center, and like it was just so fun and so funny. The comedy really stayed throughout the entire thing. I loved it. I loved it so much. And I loved the inclusion of a romance in this. Wasn't expecting it, but a rivals to lovers romance, I need more. And I actually heard R.F. Kuang's next book is going to be a romance, and I'm gonna die. It's gonna be so incredible. Although I don't think this is going to be my favorite of the year, I still really, really, really loved it. That is kind of disappointing though. I was so excited for this one. I was so sure this was gonna be my favorite book of the year. There is one thing I would have changed. If you read it, maybe you agree with me. One thing that happened just really made some sections of this book less enjoyable. That's all I'm gonna say. So it's late now, I'm exhausted, I'm gonna get to bed, and tomorrow we'll be finishing Wild as the Witch. Hello, my beautiful friends. I have had actually a pretty good day at work, which is very surprising. Work lately has been so busy and stressful. I have spent most of my day listening to Wild as the Witch, and I made it to Chapter 19, what percent is that? 65% of the audiobook, and I'm loving my time with this. It is just so nice after how heavy and kind of complicated Catabasis was to have something that's just easy to read, doesn't take a lot of brain power, and I'm not like putting this down as a bad book, but it's just more fun. It's about a young witch and a love story and magic and nature, and it's exactly what I want right now. So it's really, really perfect. We did, while I was listening earlier, get some romance scenes. We had a kiss. We had a one bed trope, which also took place inside of a tiny little tent. So like added tension there. It's just really cute. It's Very, very cute. So there is definitely the tension of Iris hiding that she's a witch from Pike, and he has been so outspoken about his hatred of witches, so I don't know how she's gonna figure this out. And they're still struggling to find the owl, and actually the owl is injured now. The owl is leaving magic around, like along with its blood. They think it was attacked by a bear, so that has not been fun. That is very, very stressful. And I really just want them to find this owl and for everybody to be okay. There have been some pretty cool interactions with other wildlife. There was a mountain lion that we got to see Iris's magic like in action. That was very fun. If I had magical abilities, I think I would want to have what Iris has and be able to communicate with animals. It's not so much that she can talk to them. It's more so that she can let them feel her intentions. So she can kind of put like her intention into their mind to like let them know that they're safe. Or in the case of the mountain lion, to let it know that they are not a threat and that it should move on its way and not hang around. So yeah, I think that would be a really fun ability to have. I am going right now to the gym because I have been slacking. I did not go at all this week, so I'm gonna go today to make it up a little bit. And then afterwards, we are going to a movie. I know, me going to a movie on Friday night, unheard of, but the Demon Slayer movie comes out tonight, and my partner Dan is a big fan of Demon Slayer. I also am a pretty okay fan of it. It's one of the only animes that I've seen all the way through. I have nothing against anime. I just am not a TV person. I just don't make the time to watch TV, anime included. But I will say Demon Slayer is one that I do enjoy watching. So excited to see the movie, and I'll let you guys know what I think of it. And then afterwards, this will be getting finished. I'm so excited to wrap up this vlog. I did not think it was going to take me 2 weeks to finish 2 books, but that's just where I am at life right now. My work day takes up so much of my time. Plus I had 2 days this week of like in-person after work hour things I had to attend, so not much time for reading, but the quality of the 2 books I read for this were really great. So that's all I can ask for. Good morning. I am so excited to tell you that I have finally finished the first 2 books of the Readathon Rebellion. Starting off with Catabasis, you already know my thoughts. This completed Objective 1 for a book with 2 or more points of view. This is stretching it a little bit because the majority of the book was in Alice's point of view, and we only ended up having 1 chapter from Peter's point of view. But I'm counting it, okay? I did not spend 500 pages of this. Yeah, 540 pages of this for it not to count. And last night, I saw a meme comparing this to Chalk Zone, and now I can't get it out of my head, so dying at that. And then, of course, you saw this morning, I finished Wild as the Witch. I'll hold it over here because the sunlight from the trees is giving us this beautiful shadow. But yeah, I love this book. 5 stars. Rachel Griffin's writing is just so whimsical, so magical. It's exactly what I needed and exactly what I wanted going from summer into fall. Today is a little more summer-like temperatures. We're having probably our last heat wave before we start getting into the cooler temperatures, but I loved this so much. I just truly can't recommend her books enough if you like fantasy having to do with witches and magic really surrounding nature. I think her books are perfect for you, and I will definitely be picking up anything else that she comes out with. The first 2 prompts of the readathon done. I am so excited to roll again and start my next vlog and see what comes up and what books I'm going to read for the challenges. Oh, and I almost forgot the Demon Slayer movie. It was actually incredible. I have a problem with anime where I don't like if a fight is drawn out, like over an entire season, they're fighting the same bad guy. I hate that. I just want to get it over with. And I know that is a thing with anime, that there are entire seasons, arcs of the show that are spent fighting one bad guy, that one fight can take 10 episodes or whatever. For me, I find that annoying. So usually when watching the show, I start to lose interest after so many episodes of just the same fight happening over and over and over again. I know there's a name for those types of animes that have to do more with fighting, and the answer is that I just shouldn't watch them, which I tend not to, like Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen. Those are kind of my only two that I do watch, and that really is just because I don't find fighting in anime very interesting. But all that to say, the movie did not do that. We had 3 really solid fights with big, high-ranking demons in it, and the pacing felt so good. It was an incredibly long movie. Oh my god, going into it, I did not think it was going to be 2.5 hours long, but even with it being way longer than I expected, I had a really, really fun time, and I actually really liked the demons that we met in it. They were all just very interesting. We got to know their backstories, and yeah, it's just, if you're a fan of Demon Hunter, go see the movie. It's definitely worth it. But I think that's everything, so that means we are finally ready to wrap this thing up. We have to pick an emoji, and I didn't think about this beforehand. Let's go with a cat emoji for one of my favorite characters in this. There was a cat named Archimedes, and I didn't talk about him at all, but a really cool aspect of this is that even though the cat was still alive, cats have the ability to pass between worlds. So he would often pop up in the underworld, check in on Alice and Peter, help them out, eat some of their food, and then he would go back to the human world. And we actually find out a little bit of his history towards the end of this. So yes, cat emoji for Archimedes, the cat. But as always, friends, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me during my first vlog of the readathon. I hope you read a good book today, and I will see you soon in my next one. Bye.